Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend, and this is one of those days where someone sends me a video or a link to a news story and I just gotta make a video about it right away because I'm just so bothered by the state of where things are going in the country in which I live in. Anyway, someone by the name of Oregon Ducks fan, by the way, thank you for giving Chip Kelly, thank you for giving his services to the Philadelphia Eagles. Anyway, Oregon Ducks fan sent me a link to a news story and a news video coming out of Columbus, Texas. Let me just go ahead and put it on the screen here and we'll all read along together, and I'll leave a link in the video description for the news article and video if you want to check it out on your own. Anyway, let's go over that now. Columbus, Texas, a God gesture disqualified a team at a Texas high school on Friday. Columbus High School's mighty Cardinals track team wrapped up victory in the 4x100-meter relay, beating the rest of the field by a clear 7 yards when runner Derek Hayes pointed to the sky to thank what he saw as a divine influence. The God gesture disqualified the team after officials deemed it to be an example of, quote, excessive celebration. The track team will now miss out on the chance to compete at state level. However, the nature of the celebration which caused the team to be disqualified is still up for debate, the Hollywood Gossip reports. Quote, many in the town, including the runner's father, called it a violation of religious freedom, but the school insists the gesture is not banned because it is religious, but because it is celebratory. As the Examiner notes, such gestures are common in sport, with many big-name stars across all sports pointing to the sky to thank what they view as divine intervention. Some even openly pray. A God gesture disqualifying a team is certainly unusual, and it is likely to spark further debates about religious freedom. Look, I'm going to give you my perspective on this as a non-believer, and this is something I've always wanted to make a rant about anyway. The whole separation of church and state, and church and schools, religion and schools, stuff of those lines. I understand that there's a role of excessive celebration can lead to a forfeit or a disqualification in this instance. I'm fine with that. Excessive celebration should be limited in a way. But when someone does something as simple as pointing to the sky to thank what they see is their divine intervention that gave them their powers, whatever their ability as a human being, the fact that something like that is getting punished in the country in which I live in makes me sick. Makes me just want to, as I always say time and time again, just throw the fuck up. I don't know why people would care about this. Why would anyone care? Like, why couldn't the board or whatever that voted on this, or the judges that were there that saw this as excessive, why could they not just make an exception here? Like, it's not like the 4 track team members got together and started doing like crotch chops and, you know, pointing to the crowd and going, yeah, cheer for us. Like, they didn't do anything like that. One of the runners, the guy that ran the final anchor leg, pointed to the sky and thanked what he saw as his personal influence in life. This is, again, this is one of the things that just makes me shake my head when you hear stories like, oh, we can't have a Christmas tree in our school because that's seen as religious symbolism, or we can't have a play that involves baby Jesus because that's religious symbolism. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Whether you're a believer or non-believer. And this is not how it happens in the real world. Shouldn't you be training to be a functioning adult when you're in high school? These are young, impressionable teenagers just showing happiness when they won. If you believe that there is a God that gave you your divine ability on this planet, then by God, thank them in a moment of grace. A moment of celebration. Point to the fucking sky if you want to. And the fact that these teenagers are being punished for this is ludicrous. This is what we want to teach them? There's no celebration? Fuck you. When you win the big game, when you have a big moment, when you have any moment, if you hit a home run in a game where you're losing 10-1, I don't care if you want to drop to your knees when you get to first base and thank Allah. I don't care if you want to make the sign of the cross the second the ball leaves the field of play. Who cares? In the real world, that is accepted as fine. The fact that something like this is considered excessive celebrations in a state like Texas? Texas? This seems like something that is more of a liberal move as far as I'm concerned. In Texas is punishing people for this? This happened in a state in the country in which I live in. The little teenage boy pointed to the sky because he was happy that he won a race that was going to help qualify them and get to state finals. That could have quite possibly been the biggest moment for any of those kids' lives, and it's taken away from them. It's taken away under the guise of excessive celebration. Shame on anyone that wants to be this thin-lined about the excessive celebration, or that boldly lined about separating church and state in schools. My God. Ironically, my God, or coincidentally. Kids being punished because he pointed to the sky. That's what we deem an example of in society nowadays. Unfucking believable. I'm disgusted. Just absolutely disgusted. But what can you do? Stuff's getting worse and worse every day. And just as a question out there, like to other non-believers, do you give a shit about religious celebration in school? About plays that have religious figures in them? Anything that's symbolic of any faith? Like, do we honestly care as non-believers? Because that's part of the issue here as well, potentially. I know it's just excessive celebration. The fact that he's, pointing to the heavens could partly be part of it, but unbelievable. I can't believe shit like this, and that's why when I see someone send me an article like this, I just gotta make a video and just, strike while my feeling iron is hot. Anyway, have a great day, guys. And if you want to celebrate and you're a teenager in any way, shape, or form at high school, fucking do it. And don't hold your head down when some arbitrary society deems you as excessive for doing so. Have a great day, guys.